Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Shelter podcast. I am your host, Charlie. I'm joined by Jamie, and here, as always, we're covering all things Star Wars. Returning with the second episode in our Mandalorian watch-through series, episode 2. Good evening, Jamie. How you doing?
Hello. I'm alright, mate. I'm alright. How are you doing?
I'm not too shabby, Alonso.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good reference.
Yeah. How about you?
What have you been up to for the past week? Haven't really spoken
Yeah, I know.
that much.
I'm alright. Nothing much, really. Just the usual.
Not much you can do, to be honest.
Played a few games, done a bit of
this
work,
time.
watched a few films, watched a bit of TV. I haven't watched a film, actually. I watched a film in a while. Yeah.
It's not. Well, you don't have to. It's not like we're doing a podcast about a movie series or anything.
Yeah, true. I won't.
Because we're doing about TV shows. Mandalorian. Segue, people. The transition.
It's beautiful.
There.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say you start off with this one. Let's dive right into it. Episode 2. Let's do a little overview, as we always do. How does it kick off, Jamie? Let me recap.
And let me tell you, Charlison, it starts with Mando. I suppose the only way we know him now, Mando. In the days, he's walking with, as we know him, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing. Yeah, they're walking through a little canyon.
Oh, lovely.
Hindsight. Walking through a little canyon, and they get jumped by a bunch of goons.
Folks. Thieves.
Yes, they are the bandits, like the remaining bandits from the hideout last episode.
And they're not clean
Or they could
bandits.
be like bounty hunters. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, who knows? Until, my dear friend, we see it. It's a fob from the guild. Because
Oh yeah, that's right.
if you think about it, they're all still after the Yoda. So yeah,
Like we didn't know until the very end of the last episode that it was dead or alive.
yeah. So people are still
It
after
was
it.
dead or alive.
The hunt is not yet over. It's turned from a Easter egg hunt to a thing where you get the ball off people. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, yeah, that. So they turn up. You know what I was going for. I think probably not actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I think so.
They turn up,
Maybe.
and these dons, they're not very nice. We find that out, but they get sorted out, don't they, mate?
They do. They get like. I think one of them gets disintegrated.
Very nice.
They are gonzo, mate.
Classic Mando
At this
stuff.
point, we think classic. The most classic, I think. The big old disintegrator move, the old 1-2.
Yeah.
I think at this point, we just think that he's back to the contractor, and that'll be the end of it. You know?
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a connection with Baby Yoda at this point.
I mean, it wouldn't be
There's
the
a
best.
little moment at the end there
Yeah. Yeah.
where they like touch fingers like bloody ET, but
Yeah. That's true.
right now we think he's still this ruthless, stone cold, heartless bounty hunter.
Yeah. That's why you can't see his head. Symbolism.
Oh, I mean, all the other bounty hunters. Like when I think bounty hunter in Star Wars, it might have changed a bit recently because of the Clone Wars show. But when I think bounty hunter, I think bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. But that's not necessarily the case.
No. Yeah, maybe not anymore. Like
Anti-heroes.
Boba Fett.
Anti-heroes to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's changed recently. Even in like Clone Wars, when I think of one of my favorite bounty hunters is Enbo. Absolute legend.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's so good.
Absolutely bloody legend he is, Enbo. But then they do like a character arc where they're going to they're kind of basically joined to the Cube game show. It's like a deadly version.
Oh
of
yeah.
Cube.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Enbo's there as well, and he knows that he's gonna be contracted to kill Palpatine, to kidnap Palpatine or something, and he goes along with it anyway. But even Enbo, who is one of my favorite bounty hunters of all time, he's still open for a bit of a morally ambiguous actions.
Yeah. I think it's a very it's not black and white like the Jedi and the Sith. It's not a good and a bad. It's very fluid. They can be whatever they want. They're free. They're more free in a way. That could make them more interesting.
Do you think they like fill in the void that's left with like the light side and the dark side ideology in like Star Wars? So the way we see it in like the movies, for the most part, it's light side good, dark side bad. They clash. That's it. There's no middle ground. Do you reckon as time has, gone by with stuff like Clone Wars and Mandalorian, kind of seen that middle ground more?
Yeah, they're almost like they're not your average person, but they're your average interesting person, because you're not just going to follow a person around like a shop or something. But if you're looking for someone who's not just good or bad,
well, you might not want to see that. That sounds great to me.
They're the exciting Star Wars embodiment of it, if you know what I mean. They're just the everyday man who, well, not everyday man kills someone, but you know what I mean. They're not setting a moral way.
Maybe they do in this universe. Maybe the average man in the Star Wars universe kills people.
No, that's not necessarily true, is it? I think we've seen more real life, and yeah, they're always talking about like civilian populations. I don't think they go around killing each other all the time.
I feel like they'd all carry a blaster, unless they're like a farmer community or whatever. Yeah, but even in the Clone Wars, Anakin and Obi-Wan teach the farming community to fight.
Yeah, it's like America. Anyway, moving on.
Controversial. Moving on. Not getting political on Star Wars Shelter, he says. 2 episodes later. We're bloody here.
Do it.
Well, I don't know how to respond to that one, to be honest.
It's treason. Anyway.
Yeah, no. So it shows how professional he really is, to be honest. He senses something is wrong, from behind the canyon or whatever. Yeah. Like he doesn't see it, he senses it, and he gets ready for the ambush.
Yeah, and we also see after this fight, I think it's after this fight, I'm pretty sure, we see the first teasers of the potential force sensitivity of Mr. Baby Yoda. I think, I think Mando's like laying on the floor or something, and then he's like going in for the force heal. He doesn't actually go through with it though. I think Mando gets up or something like that, just moves him out of the way. But yeah, it's a tease, foreshadowing.
He was reaching out. He tried it.
Yeah, you got to remember at this point as well. Pretty sure, 99% sure. I don't think we saw it in the first episode that Baby Yoda, hasn't been like force sensitive yet. Like it's not revealed as of yet. So,
yeah, that's a good point.
And this is our first tease of it.
Yoda species. Do you think that automatically that they're going to be force sensitive?
Yeah, I think that is the general consensus. Most people think like that. Because I don't know, Yoda's the only one. Yoda and Yaddle, are the only ones we've ever seen.
Yaddle.
And talking of Yaddle, there are some interesting fan theories out there about how Baby Yoda came about, but we won't get into that yet.
Welcome to Star Wars Shelter, the podcast where we discuss the love child between Yaddle and Yoda is Baby Yoda.
That is an idea.
Cover what's really on the people's minds on the podcast. But yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned it. It was out there. It was the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Yaddle is Baby Yoda's mum.
Yeah, everyone thinks it. Everyone wants it, I think, in a certain kind of way. Anyway. Yeah, so moving on from
I do.
Moving on from that, the story continues, my dear friend. I hope I'm telling it well. And we get back to the old Razor's Crest. It's not quite the Millennium Falcon. It's not quite the Slave One. It's kind of a mix of the two. I think we said that last episode. Anyway. So yeah.
Doesn't last very long.
Our familiar friends from the old films, the Jawas, are back at it again. Scavenging.
They are.
And old Mando's ship is torn to shreds, isn't it?
Taken apart the ship. The Razor Crest, you could say, is destroyed. Perhaps not for the last time.
Oh, foreshadowing from old Jamie.
Controversial.
Anyway.
Foreshadowing.
Let's talk the Jawas, because obviously it's a very big nod towards the films, bringing back pretty much a character. It's probably the same tribe, isn't it? They've got the Sandcrawler still. Like, it's the Jawas of Tatooine. They're back.
Yeah, probably.
It's a cameo, if anything.
Depends how. Yeah, no, definitely.
So
yeah,
obviously
it's interesting.
Yeah, there's obviously a big discussion about things like that. Like, is it fan service or is it just a cool Easter egg / cameo? Like, what side of the argument do you sit on?
Oh, that begs the question, isn't it? Have you seen the meme where it's like overview of Mando, and it's like, oh no, we need to get some milk. Oh no, Baby Yoda drunk the blue milk. Now we need to go and ask someone for the milk. Oh no, I'm not going to get the milk until I do something for you. Oh great, I got the milk. Oh no, Baby Yoda drunk it at the end anyway. Roll credits. Do you think, like, I get it. Maybe there is a bit of filler. At the end of the day, I think it's a Star Wars. They're meant to be Star Wars adventures that you can enjoy.
Yeah, it's just like, and
not be like pulled in. At least at this point, not get pulled into the grander Skywalker.
Yeah, it's setting a scene, really, isn't it?
Story.
It's giving them a bond to form over. It's getting people excited about, like, little characters like the Jawas coming back. Like, people will recognise the Jawas and be like, the Jawas are back. Like, that kind of thing. And yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. And then I was
excited.
Yeah, and I think the thing that happens next, where he chases after him and he's jumping on the Sandcrawler and everything, it's pretty mad. It's a pretty mad little fight scene. I quite enjoy it.
Bloody disintegrates one.
I know, so don't check.
Turns one into, like, ash in front of us. I couldn't believe it. Poor Jawas.
Yeah, but then they fight back, and in the end, they get him off their ship and they defeat him pretty much. So this Mandalorian that we've seen throughout the last episode and a bit, it's just been defeated by the Jawas that, since the first movie, I'm pretty sure everyone's taken the Jawas for mugs. And now Mando's been defeated by him, so it just...
No, I did.
Yeah, and it just shows Mando, whilst he's a bit of a badass, he is not invincible.
We all know that his weakness are Jawas. I mean... Yeah.
And I'll get to it later, but we actually...
probably the most dangerous group in the Star Wars universe, to be honest. It goes Sith, Jedi, Death Watch, and then the Jawas at the very top.
True. Like, I can't disagree with that. They are absolute... I mean, you can't see their faces.
That's canon.
You can't see... No one's seen a Jawa's face, ever.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like...
Well, I know that Sheev wouldn't like to try his luck against a few Jawas.
I mean, they got their hands on a better hood than Emperor Palpatine did, so...
That's true. That's where we got it from.
He was trying to hide his face, but we can still see it. The Jawas are trying to hide their face, and it's worked. So who's in the wrong, really?
Exactly. That does beg the question, though. With Mando's awesome disintegrating staff, do you reckon a lightsaber could deflect it?
Ooh. Good point. Wait, do you mean his shot?
That'd be an efficient weapon.
Like his shot? Oh, do you think... Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
That disintegrates the poor old little Jawa.
I think a lightsaber could block it. A lightsaber's pretty lightsabery, isn't it? Like, if they can block blasters, I'm sure they can block a different type of thing. Like, the idea is they're like, I don't know, I'm getting scientific here, but isn't it like the heat of it is kind of what's like dissolving whatever comes at it? Would that... So I
don't think so, because it bounces back.
True. This is why we don't get scientific about something that's not real.
Oh no, yeah. I'm no scientist. I have no idea. Yeah, maybe.
But yeah. So Mando, in this point,
he's stone cold.
He's in a bit of a pit.
Where you going?
He's in a bit of a pickle. He's lost his ship parts, and he couldn't even get it back.
He's a stone cold badass.
He's just
killing bloody Jawas.
Yeah, and he's been mugged off by him. And so he goes on his little stroll, and it brings us back to our old friend from episode 1, Mr. Quill, the Ugnaught.
Oh, before we get on to that, I just wanted to mention a quick little
Anecdote.
nod to the Solo movie.
Oh,
A little
he's finding all the Easter eggs
if
here.
you will. Oh, well, I spotted this one, mate. I was real proud of myself. Mando, when he's on the side of the Jawa crawler,
Go on.
nearly gets his head bashed in by an oncoming boulder, which was very Chewie-esque on the heist mission in Solo. Almost exactly the same. I was like, oh, I see what you did there.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I like it.
Very nice.
I love that from you,
But
Jamie.
the question is, who did it better?
Who did it better?
Thank you.
I mean, Chewie survived.
Who did it better?
I mean, Chewie succeeded in his mission, didn't he? So, wait, did they? I can't just remember. It's been a while.
The canister exploded, remember, and that's why they had to talk to Vision.
Oh, well, there we go.
Sort out their debt.
Vision.
So they both failed. There you go.
Very nice. I like that. Anyway, moving on. Quill is back. The Ugnaught man.
He is.
The absolute legend. He lives a simple life, but he's a bit of a beast at the same time.
He's a complete beast, mate.
And Mando is coming back for help, obviously. He's got nothing left. I've got nothing left. Anyway. Yeah. He goes, give me some guns or whatever, and I'll go and tear up the Jawas. Come and help me. And Quill's like, mate, you've got it all wrong. You've got it all wrong here. Violence is not the only answer. And this is weird because it's challenging Mando's whole philosophy. Mando is, if something's taken from you or if there's a conflict, you fight. Whereas Quill, for the first time,
And we get the iconic. Sorry, go on.
Go on, sorry. Quill is giving him the alternative route, the peaceful solution. So it's like this is a big part, I personally think, in Mando's character development. He's starting to see that violence is not the only answer.
That is a very good point, Charlison. I suppose the only way he managed to get his parts back, it wasn't to try and shoot up the whole Jawa plan, but to do what they say.
Yeah, give him a little trade. And that sends him on his egg hunt. Hello?
Yep. Well, it's coming near Easter, isn't it?
Yeah. Mando on an egg hunt. And it was
He wanted to get in on the Easter joy.
yeah. It's a very creamy egg, by the way. Just put that out there. Anyway,
It was a big cream egg.
this
Big
fight
cream egg.
with Mr. Rhino Boy, whatever I don't know what it is. It's some kind of monster. It looks a bit like a rhino, but it's a bit more hairy. But it has an egg, so has it got some bird? It's a mixture of everything, really. A hairy rhino bird with no wings is what we're going to...
Where did you get bird from?
I mean, it's got an egg. Don't only birds have eggs? Isn't that the thing?
Oh, yeah. No. Like
Platypus.
reptiles do.
Oh, true. Yeah.
even
Ignore that then.
That's it.
We're uncovering
I
today
know a
that
hairy platypus.
we're uncovering today that I'm not good at science at all. Anyway, what do you think of the tear up?
Oh, if you can even call it a tear up, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, his armor got torn up. It was a bloody one-sided bash.
Yeah, he got smashed right to shreds, didn't he? Literally.
Absolutely destroyed.
I mean, he was going
If it
to.
wasn't for, and we'll go on to that, I'm sure, in a minute, a certain little green
Friend.
creature,
Yeah.
he would be Gonzo in episode 2.
Yeah. And
Which makes me think, what has he been up to? How did he survive up to this point?
that's what I was going to
It's only
say.
episode 2 and he's already...
That's what I was going to say. Like, he's survived for this long, and now he's got more of a responsibility on his hands. He's caring for someone else. He can't do it all himself.
Yeah, to get the big creamy egg.
Because technically, if he didn't have Quill, the Ugnaughts' help, he would have lost his ship. So he needed someone's help there with the Jawas, and he's taken on this big monster thing, and he's needed someone's help again. He's needed Grogu's help. So it just shows.
It's true.
It goes both ways, because this is the first time, really. Mando's kind of been helping Grogu, but now the roles are reversed. The turns have tabled.
if you will.
If you will.
Yeah, no, I suppose for a very active character, he needs help an awful lot, doesn't he? No, I think that's the point. Like, that's his character arc. He needs to learn how to open up, take his mask off, take his helmet off, well, literally, take his helmet off, and take help more.
Yeah, he's got to stop thinking he's cool, being a lone wolf, being a bit of a badass. He's got to, in the end, you've got to work as part of a team. That's just how life is designed. Even for Mando. And in a way, it's actually it's quite a good way of doing it, because I feel like a trap quite a lot of shows fall into is they'll make their character this badass that can just win any battle, and there's not much suspense because they're just, they're going to survive it. Whereas with this, Mando is not gonna do it on his own. He's not that badass that can win everything.
Yeah, I think
it adds a layer of realism to it, if anything.
Yeah, definitely. Also, sorry, audience, just to let you know, we do intend to talk in the same room once the whole what is over. But as of right now, we will have a considerable amount of talking over each other. But I think that just adds to the fun, to be honest.
Okay, mate. I'm sure they're loving it.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. We just did it again. But that's part of the fun.
We're finishing each other's sentences. Put it like that.
Sentences. I missed it. Nah. Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, no, I feel like that's the entire point of Mando. He's opening up.
Yeah. It's bringing a human side.
He must have been really, really careful before this. He must have only taken jobs. Well, actually, in the first episode, he says, "I'll take them all." So he's not that careful with jobs. I don't know how he survived, to be honest.
Maybe he flicks it every time. Yeah. I mean, this is a very different kind of mission, really. It's a little Jedi that half the world is trying to find. Or universe, sorry. Galaxy. Oh, I don't know what it is. The universe is bigger than galaxy. Again, my science has failed me.
That's what we should call this episode. The science fails Charlie.
But yeah, what did you think? The force push. I mean, it's quite mad how he can do that. Like, it must be quite a powerful guy. I mean, he is 50, but still.
I was going to say, he's only 50 years old.
Yeah, but he is a baby that's not matured, and he's able to pick up a big rhino boy.
Yeah, and that was a big rhino boy.
Yeah.
Which actually, now that you mention that, it begs the question, does the weight and the size of the object matter?
That is a good point. I think it's probably just...
because I thought it was.
It's probably just mental more than anything. Like, you're going to see something big and it'll be harder in your head.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, because I thought that when Luke couldn't lift his X-Wing, but he can lift a bunch of rocks, it's different. But you're right. Maybe it is just a mental barrier.
Yeah, it probably is mental more than anything. I mean, if Yoda can lift it, then that's the whole point, isn't it? Like, yeah, size matters not. Is the whole point. I think, I think,
so
obviously we don't have the answers, but that's the most.
No,
yeah.
Charlie's not great at science, you see. So, in that case, he lifted up a little rhino bird's platypus thing and saved Mando's life, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it. What is next?
And they have a nice little omelette, nice little fry up.
Yeah, they get the egg back to the Jawas and they're loving it, aren't they? It's better than any egg I've ever made. Yeah. It's really hairy. It's a really hairy egg as well. It's fun.
Never thought the two comments best egg, better egg than I've ever had, and then it's really airy. The same.
Yeah, but the inside. You need the inside. It's the inside that matters.
Hey, I'm not judging. If you like hairy eggs, you like hairy eggs. Whatever.
Yeah. So it actually works out that the peaceful option, ironically, turns out non-peaceful. He has to fight a massive monster thing. But yeah, it works out going the more amicable route, and then we see Grogu turn into an absolute badass. He takes the mantle off of Mando for this episode, I think.
You know what? I think he does with that finale. He can't not.
Yeah. Badass of the episode goes to Grogu. That could be a thing.
Oh, well done. Welcome everyone to our first section of the day, last of the week.
There we go. It's settled.
And the first one is Grogu, mate.
Yes, done. And that's going to be a thing. Look for it on Instagram.
Actually, I think it should be the Jawas.
We're going to post
it. Should be the Jawas.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we're changing our mind. It is the Jawas. They yeah. Grogu, mate. I'm sorry, you did force the Rhino thing, but the Jawas, mate. The thing is, Grogu, like we're all about fairness here, and you're probably going to get one in a later episode, whereas the Jawas, this is their time to shine. So
definitely
take a step back.
I mean, honorable mention, Grogu. You did a great, work, but you didn't beat Mando when you're a bunch of Jawas.
Exactly. So our badass of the week is the Jawas, and we'll be posting it on Instagram at Star Wars Shelter Official. At Star Wars Shelter Official. Give it a follow. Thank you. Yes.
Also, plug over. Who do you think was badass of the week, episode 1?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. It's got to be Mando. I mean, we're introduced to him. It's got to be Mando.
The IG droid.
True, but again, I'm going to say Mando for the first episode. We see all this stuff come out.
You literally see all of the IG and stuff come out when Mando shoots him.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what settles it. He shoots him in the head.
That's it. Yeah, all right. You convinced me. Badass of the week, Mando.
Yeah, and again, at Star Wars Shelter Official on Instagram, that will be posted there. And tune in every week to see our. Actually, we might make it a vote.
Ooh.
Who wants to see a vote?
Oh, maybe.
We'll let you know. Okay, that's going to be a thing.
We're not recording live, so you can't answer us. But who wants to see a vote?
Yep, you'll be seeing it now. Like, we've just decided this. You got the gift of hindsight, my dear viewers. You'll be voting on our badass of the week. Coming soon to a store near you. Well, coming already. You've already seen it, but actually you'll see it after this. Ignore me. I'm ranting.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
look forward to that, lads.
Yeah,
that will be something to interact with you guys with.
I mean, that's kind of the end of the episode in a way. We got Mando kind of just fixes his ship up. We've got like this epic montage scene where they're just fixing the ship. It's like a proper like 80s montage of just like cuts and like fades of them fixing a ship. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
And then
it was cool.
I think the other thing of note is all the way up until the end of the episode, which we can probably like they're fixing a ship, so it's got to be a considerable amount of hours. Grogu has passed out the whole time, so it just shows how much of his strength he did use doing it.
Extreme power, but also extremely sleepy boy.
It just shows you though, like how powerful Jedi must be to like do that all the time and not tire. Like you kind of see him.
Do you think it's all Jedi, or do you think like something's wrong with Grogu? Do you think like he's got something going on?
I don't know, but
He probably is just he's exerting so much.
Yeah, and
especially
especially untrained, like that is mental for him to even be able to do it in the first place.
Like, let's compare what other even partly trained Jedi like Barriss Offee or Ahsoka earlier on in the Clone Wars. They couldn't do anything like that.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's kind of like instinctive, weren't it? He kind of done it without preparation in a way. It was kind of like an instinctive move to save him, whereas they get in their own head rent free before. They're probably like, no, I can't do this, sorry. Whereas he just acted to save Mando. Instinctive. The bond is there already, my dear friends.
It is. It's growing, Charlison. It's growing every single episode.
It's the best partnership since Han and Chewie. Wait, no. I take that back. We got
controversial. No, you heard it here first, people. Second favourite duo.
Balls.
Han and Chewie.
I do take it back.
Please
whether it's valid or not.
Us about how how interesting a take that is.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is there though. Duos. Luke and Leia, Anakin and Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, Savage and Maul. Probably not as good.
No, I don't know. No, I think it's up there with Obi-Wan and Anakin and Han and Chewie and what ones? Finn and Poe.
Mando.
Finn and Poe.
Poe. Finn and Poe. That's my jacket.
That's right. No, keep it. It suits you. Anyway, that's the end of the episode, really. I mean, any final thoughts on this beautiful
I was going to
episode?
ask you, Charlton, what do you think? What do you think of this episode?
I like
Is
it.
it as good as the first episode?
That's a very good point. And you know what? The first time I watched it, obviously, the first episode really got me. Like, obviously, it's meant to do that. It's like the pilot. It's intriguing. It's pretty epic. And I feel like the first time I watched it, this episode kind of went under the radar a bit. But watching it back, especially talking about it as well, it's a very well thought out episode and brings a lot to the table with the story. And even though it could be seen as filler, there's a lot of important stuff that goes on in it. And at the end of the day, it's enjoyable as well. And that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's most important, isn't it?
I mean,
it's just a good, solid Star Wars story.
Yeah, I mean, with the gift of hindsight, comparing it to the rest of the show, and I think my rating for the first episode was 9 out of 10. So, in comparison to everything else, I'll probably give it a solid 7.5 out of 10.
Ooh, that's lower than I thought that was, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know, because it's very good, but there is, compared to what's to come, I feel like you've got to give it a bit of, push it back a bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it does, it incites the question, the age-old question, even like the Clone Wars, are the episodes that are more filler than plot-based still great? Can they still be great? Or are they just kind of extending the runtime of the show? And that's what we need to figure out. Personally, I am much more forgiving for the Mandalorian filler because it's not as much than the Clone Wars filler.
Yeah, and
I couldn't believe it. I was talking to you when I'm still watching Clone Wars, guys, just so you know. I haven't finished it yet. And I think I watched Maul's reintroduction. I knew he was in it. We all know he's in it. You know, it's Darth Maul. But I just watched his introduction, I think it was, and I was so excited. And it was something big like that. And then Charlie goes, "Oh, keep watching. The next episode, Nomad Droids." That's right. My favorite episode of the whole series.
Have you watched the next episode yet?
Oh, what now? Like where we last talked?
Well, have you watched the one after Nomad Droids? Or
yeah, no, I'm long past that. I'm now on
so it gets bloody better, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah. It was all right. I just can't believe it came after Darth Maul tearing.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, people up. I mean, it was fine.
Each to their own, my dear friend. I'm pretty sure
That's
we're on
why,
the
and I know we're going on a massive tangent here, but speaking of Clone Wars, I accidentally started playing Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Copyright.
Ooh.
I'm joking.
I think Star Wars Rebels is a lot more focused as a story than Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And I'm sure we'll get into this. Maybe we could do like a debate series or something. And the first one could be Clone Wars versus Rebels. I think that would be an interesting idea. Like that.
Again, Instagram.
I won't go off too much.
We've got DMs, we've got comments. Sort us out, mate.
Sort us out. Do it, mate. But yeah, focus. Yeah. I think that's important. And Mandalorian, it has it. Sometimes it dabbles in the filler territory, and that's okay, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I'd probably rate it, after going off on that tangent, an 8 out of 10. Which ironically is higher than yours.
Well, I didn't expect that.
It's good.
You're a very generous man, and I respect that.
Thank you very much.
So, any final thoughts? Have the ratings done? Or are we down to a close for today's episode?
Ooh, great second episode. Not as good as the first one.
There's a lot to live up to.
Good relationship building. Like we skipped a few scenes about like just little scenes that improve or extend their relationship just that little bit more, and that happens throughout the entire series. So it just slowly builds and builds up until they basically have a father-son relationship.
Yeah, it's very subtle, but it creeps up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, even the force healing scene, where he tries to help him out. You know, that's relationship building.
Yeah,
and that's what this show does well continuously, even in the episodes that might not be the best.
Exactly.
And that's why I love this show, Charlotte.
What a legend! And that's why we're talking about it.
That's why we're here. That's why Star Wars Shelter is a thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we call it.
What do you think, Charlie?
I'm just going to agree with you on that. I feel like my rating will be my last word of the day. Apart from this, say goodbye to everyone. But, you know, yeah. Anyway,
on that note,
on that bombshell, to quote a certain other TV show out there, inside reference. Anyway, I'm chatting.
I'm not sure it's an inside reference. I'm not sure I get it.
Oh, well, there we go.
Reference. I'm sure you guys get it. Let me know.
Once again, on that note, I've been Charlie.
I've been Jamie.
This has been Star Wars Shelter. We have covered some more Star Wars for you today. And it is time for us to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.